This is pre-calc video 6.2 on finding a side using special angles. 6.2, there it is at the top. Okay, that's our video. All right, so today we're going to do exact, whoa, stay highlighted, would you? Exact values without a calculator, okay? And a lot of what I'm going to ask you to do in this course is going to be that. I want for you to be able to understand the concept of the ratio, and doing stuff on calculators kind of takes away from developing the higher math concepts. Here we go. So anytime that you see the word exact, all right, you cannot use a decimal representation, and that's how I'm going to know whether you're using a calculator or not by whether or not it's in decimal form or if it's in a simplified fraction or simplified radical. All right, so here I'm going to write an equation. I am given the angle 45 degrees, which is one of the special angles that's on your trig card. Okay, so I want to write an equation in terms of that 45 degree angle, and I'm given one side of the triangle. Okay, I know the length of the hypotenuse, and I am asking to find this h, which is opposite. H is opposite 45. Okay, so we've got an opposite and we've got a hypotenuse. So I am going to write a trigonometric equation that relates 45 degrees to opposite and hypotenuse. Okay, so which trig ratio is opposite divided by hypotenuse? Well, that's sine. I have to have those memorized. So if you don't have those memorized, memorize them. Okay, opposite over hypotenuse is a sine function. So I'm going to write the sine of 45 degrees equals h, that's the opposite, over 25. That's the hypotenuse. Now I'm trying to solve for h, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 25. Okay, so this cancels, all right? And I have 25 times the sine of 45 degrees equals h. Okay, so now what's the sine of 45 degrees? Don't you dare pick up your calculator. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to get out your trig card, and you're going to use that as a reference. Now, many professors in college will expect you to have everything on this trig card memorized also, okay? So if you are heading into a direction where you're going to need to study some higher level math, you might want to consider memorizing this too. And if that applies to you, you can talk to me privately, and I'll give you some ways to make it easier to memorize this, all right? So anyway, so now we're looking at our trig card, and I am looking for the sine of 45 degrees. So we've got 45 and sine, okay, gives us this, the square root of 2 over 2, okay? All right, so back to that screen. So I've got 25 times the square root of 2 over 2, okay? That's h. All right, so in simplest form, 25 radical 2, this is top times top, bottom times bottom, that's the answer. And if you were to give me a decimal for that because you put it in a calculator, you would not get credit for the problem. All right, next problem. You might want to try this one without me. Okay, so you might want to try this one without me. I think I've paused long enough. Pause the video, try it by yourself. I'll show you my answer. All right, so for this problem, I've got 30 degrees. I've got 100. Those two things were given, okay? There's a right angle right here. This is the right angle, okay? So the angle across from the right angle, excuse me, the side across from the right angle is 100. So 100 is the hypotenuse. Okay, hypotenuse. There we go. And H is the adjacent side. It's next to 30. It's not across from 30. So the relationship between adjacent and hypotenuse is cosine. So I'm going to write my equation. The cosine of 30 degrees equals 100. Oops, I got that wrong. I was just testing to see if you're paying attention. Equals H divided by 100. That's adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay, so I'm going to multiply by 100 to get H all by itself. I'm going to refer to the trig card. Okay, I'm not looking at that anymore. I'm looking at cosine of 30. Okay, so cosine of 30, square root of 3 over 2. Okay. So we've got 100 times the square root of 3 over 2. That's H. Okay. I can cancel out a 2 from top and bottom. 100 divided by 2 is 50. So my answer in simplest form is 50 radical 3. That's your top times top. Bottom times bottom is just 1. So it's 50 radical 3 over 1. Anything divided by 1 is itself. That's your answer, 50 radical 3. All right, that's that video.